and get back to you. Okay, so I've sewn my seam. I'm just going to finger press that open and fold it in half. Now you can see when I lay that on there, we have our perfect join. So I'm just going to go back to where I finished my stitching, overlap it a fraction so that it doesn't come undone, and just sew down my seam. Making sure that I keep it aligned up to the side of my quilt. And finish off. Now all I need to do is just trim off these little wings that we have here. And now we have our join. Press that out so that it presses it nice and flat before you turn over. So when I've glued that down, I'll just show you how I do my fancy edges. I'm back and I've put my binding onto my quilt and I've glued it into place at the back so that it's all nice and smooth, and all I have to do now is machine it. Now I'm not a hand sewer. 2 reasons. I hate hand sewing and I really hate hand sewing. So this is my method of putting my binding onto my quilt. Now I'm using the Janome Memory Craft 6500 machine, and if I put it into mode 2 and click stitch 25, I will get a wave stitch. So I'm just using a plain coloured thread. You can, if you want to, use a variegated thread and make it into an interesting border. I'm lining the side of my foot on the edge here, and then I'm just going to sew my binding down the side using this stitch. Now I have reduced the foot pressure to 2 just to allow for that bit of bulk. And that's all I'm going to do, is do this nice wave stitch around the edge of my quilt, holding my binding in place. And because I know it's in place at the back, then I don't have a problem with it. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this quick lesson.